All right. So, good morning, Falcons. My first video for our home phys ed lesson. I've got my kids with me. A couple of them there, one of them over there. So they're going to be my test dummies, and they're going to be the ones that help me do all of these lessons for you. So most of the stuff that we do, we're going to have just for one person to do, because I know some of us don't have brothers and sisters. Some of the things we'll do, you'll be able to play with your brother or sister. Today's game, you're going to need somebody to help you, though. You're going to need mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, somebody to help you play along. So when we do stuff in the gym, you guys know that it's important to move our body, but it's also important for us to make sure that we're playing fairly. We learn how to follow the rules, we learn how to keep track of the score correctly, and that we learn to be a good sport overall when we play, because that's what competition is. So today we are going to play paper football, one of my favorite games that I ever played growing up. All you need, one sheet of paper. Make sure that it's not one that you ripped out of a notebook with all of those little goobers on the side. You want something nice and smooth on each side to make your football. When you're all done, if you want to decorate your football, you can. If you choose to decorate it, make sure that you send a picture on the Facebook Little Falcons page so that I can see what you designed. So I'll wait a second for you to go grab a piece of paper. All right, now that you got your paper, we can go ahead and start folding it. So the first fold that you need to make on your paper is a hot dog fold. We're just gonna fold it in half. Kids behind me, make sure you're following along. Fold that piece of paper in half.
Oh God.
Make sure that those corners line up really nicely.
Yeah, I'm trying.
My kindergarten and first graders, you're probably gonna want mom or dad to help you with this one. When you make that fold, you want to make those lines nice and stiff. So lay it down, run your fingers over those lines. It's really important that when we're making our football that we have nice straight lines. So now we got our first hot dog fold. We're going to make another hot dog fold. So fold that in half again. Line those corners up perfectly. Run your finger down that seam. And when we're all done, remember everybody's football is going to look a little different. There isn't a perfect football. The next thing that we're going to do, you've got your hot dog folds. We want the open part of our football to be facing that way. And we're going to grab onto the corner with the fold. Grab one right up there. And we're going to fold this corner down so that we can have a little triangle. Line those edges up nicely. Mr. Gage, you're not supposed to be working ahead. You're supposed to be following directions back there. That's what happens to middle school kids. They forget how to follow directions after 5th grade. So we fold that corner over to there. Keeping those lines nice and straight.
Is that good?
Just one fold, Mr. Ivo. Callie, that's a perfect fold.
Thank you.
Just one fold.
There is
This
a
corner,
perfect
look at me. Right to that corner. And then run your finger over those lines. Make that one nice and tight. Now that we got our first fold, we took that corner over. We're going to take this triangle down. So watch how I do it. I'm just going to take my fold and I'm going to bend it down so that I have another triangle. Just like that. And then go over that line. Yep, just like that, Mr. Ivo. Fold that triangle down. And then you want to make sure your lines are lined up on the edge. And then run your fingers over that fold. Smooth it out.
Mine is beautiful.
And then you are going to continue those folds all the way down to the bottom until you have just a little piece left. So fold. And make sure on each fold you run your fingers over those lines to straighten it down. Keep folding, and it might get it a little bent and a little crooked, and that's okay. We can fix that at the end. Fold it over. If your brother or sister are having trouble, make sure that you help them out on this. You're doing very good, Ivo. Callie, very nice job. It gets a little bit harder as you fold on the way down, but once you get to the end, you're going to have a little bit of fluff left down there. And I'll show you in a second what we're going to do with that. Perfect, Ivo. Yeah, just like that. You want to fold it over so that you have your triangle. Just like that, and then fold it down.
Like that?
Just like that.
Yeah.
And then run your finger over that seam. And then fold it down again. Yep, just like that. Callie's got a little bit left there. You had it, buddy.
You just fold it back down.
Fold it down. And then fold it down again so that we keep our triangle. And then fold it down one more time. And then you're at the end. You got your little bit of fluff left. Now, that little bit that's sticking out at the bottom, what we're going to do with this is we're going to fold each of those corners into the middle so that they're out of the way. So watch what I do here. I'm just going to take this corner and I'm going to make a little fold so that it's out of the way. And this corner over here, a little fold so that it's out of the way. We just need to get those corners out of our way. So go ahead and fold your corners in here. Fold that corner in a little bit and fold that corner in a little bit.
So like.
There's other ways to do it with scissors and things like that, but folding those corners in will let us get it into that hole. So that little hole right there is where we're going to tuck that extra paper at. So I'm going to take those little corners that I just folded and that little bit of extra fluff at the bottom, and I'm just going to stick it up in there.
In here, in this pocket.
Thank you for helping your brother, Callie.
Not down there.
Once we tuck that in there, then it is just about
I don't
us
have that much.
folding out our paper football and flattening it. What happened?
He doesn't have enough on the end.
Fold it here then. Fold it here and wow.
Yep. So on Ivo's football, his isn't enough to get all the way in there. So you got two options. If you can't fold it all the way in there, you can unfold it back to here. And you can rip off half of it. If you rip off a little bit, then you fold that corner in, fold that corner in, and you can tuck it right on the inside. Once you get it tucked up on the inside, you have your football.
I'm gonna try it again.
Remember, everybody's is going to look a little different, and our folds are going to be a little bit different. So now that we have our football, the best part's playing. Gage, you come down here and play with me. Ivo and Callie, you can play against each other.
Okay, wait. Do we both have?
All right, so the rules for paper football. Super duper simple game. You can play on any table. You just need a flat, clean surface. So mom's gonna like this game because you're gonna have to clean the table off before you play. Make sure you wipe it, let it dry, then you can play. So in paper football, how we play? The goal is to get a touchdown. And to get a touchdown, I must flick. It's a flick with your finger. You're not allowed to push. So once you flick it, you want to get the paper football to land
I don't think they can see.
hanging over the edge. If your paper football is hanging over the edge, watch my finger when I run it down the table. I touch the football. So once your football is hanging over the edge, you get a point. If you score a point, you have a chance for a field goal. To score the field goal, the person that scored the point gets the football, and they get a kick. To kick it, you're just going to sit it on the table, put one finger on top, and I'm going to try to flick it up through the goal post. You make your goal post with your fingers like that. It's up to you when you're playing if you're going to put your elbows on the table or if you're going to put your wrists on the table. That's your choice. So you get 1 point for a touchdown. If you score the touchdown, you get a chance to get a second point by kicking a field goal. We're not playing by football rules. We know that football, a touchdown is 6, and then the extra point is 1. But in paper football, every point is just 1 point. So to score, you get 1 and a chance for a second point. All right, Callie and Ivo, what questions do you have?
What happens if it falls off a table?
Good question. What happens if it falls off the table? If Gage would flick it this way and it would fall off the table, it's my ball. I lay it down right in front of me and I get a flick. You're not allowed to lay it more than a hand in front of the table. So if you lay your hand down, you can start anywhere you want, but you can't go past your fingertips when you lay it down. Good question, Ivo.
If you get a bigger hand, you do that.
So if you have a bigger hand like me, you have an advantage. Any other questions?
What if this flap comes out?
If the flap comes out, you could always add a little piece of tape to it. Tape's not going to hurt it. Or you can just tuck it back in. If there's any disagreements in this game, just like we do in the gym, it's rock, paper, scissors to see who is correct. Rock, paper, scissors takes 3 seconds and it solves all of our problems. All right, Gage, let's do rock, paper, scissors to see whose football we're going to use. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Your choice. Mine or yours?
Mine.
All right, we're using Gage's football. You guys, rock, paper, scissors to see whose football you're using.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yours.
All right, she picked Ivo's. All right, Gage, we're going to play there. They're going to play there. Let's play our games today to 10 points. First person to
you
get
don't get to do that.
First person to get 10 points is the winner.
Yeah.
Okay? You only get a flick into the field goal after you score. So you got to try to flick it across the table and get it to hang off the edge. Okay, Ivo? So you lay the football down flat to start. There you go. All right, here we go. We're going to play just for a minute and let you see. Go ahead, Gage.
Here. You can't
Football
stand
stop
up.
here. So
You
I
lay
got to
it
kick
down and
from
you
where the
flick
football
the end.
was. And it gets tricky sometimes because you don't have a good angle.
You don't want to flick as hard as you can.
Gage's shot.
So I do it from here.
Yep, you got to flick from wherever
No,
it
it's
stops.
not a field goal.
Oh, that was a flick. Your finger touched it. Oh, is it hanging?
Yours.
Hanging.
Woo! Point for me. First 1 to 10 wins. Are we going to do wrists or are we going to do elbows?
Wrist.
Wrists. Okay.
Wrist.
All right, ready?
I like the elbows.
We're allowed to do that. Was not.
Miss. 1 to 0. I'm winning.
Oh, dang it.
Keep your hands off the table at all times unless you're flicking.
No! What the? Oh! Yes!
So you got a point.
Now I get a field goal, right?
Yep. After you score your point, you get to kick your field goal.
Oh, that's hard.
I thought you said wrists. Oh,
Ah.
No, I hit it way too hard.
did you already do it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Now it's my turn. I did it.
It's your.
Boom!
Oh my god. You can get in the
2.
spin over there.
All right, you guys keep
Wait.
playing there.
No, you don't do that.
So today's game is paper football. It's not going to get our bodies up and moving, but it's going to get us playing with each other nicely, and that's a good start. When the weather gets a little bit nicer, we're going to have a lot of stuff that we're going to do outside, so be ready for that stuff. We're going to have plenty more days where our bodies keep moving. Today, we just want to compete with each other nicely. Make sure that you're following our Little Falcons Facebook page. On there, you're going to find an activity on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that's going to be some type of link that you can throw up on your TV. That's going to be maybe a 10-15 minute exercise workout. I may post some links on there to some apps you can download on your tablets and phones that you can follow along with whenever you want. On Tuesday and Thursday, though, you're going to see this dojo post, and I'm going to make a video each time for you. Parents, there's no way for you to prove that you did this activity with your kids. I just think these are things that your kids are going to love, and I don't know why you would want them to miss it. So, I hope you guys have fun today. Stay safe. Stay away from people. Practice that social distancing. Ooh. Parents, make sure you beat your kids.
No, you don't get to try